Hi everyone. Okay, don't be too stressed about PSLE. Don't worry. Geniebook has P6 lessons every day. Okay, except public holidays. So if you are weak at a certain concept, don't worry. Okay, just attend lessons for all the days in the week if you are able to. And if you're not able to and you still have questions, you can still come to GenieAsk to ask questions. Remember? Okay, come, shall we start? Okay. Now, let's look at what we are learning today. Today, we are looking at ratio strategies. Okay, some of you might have already known this because this is brought down actually for ratio specifically will be from P5. Okay, so one item unchanged. Okay, total unchanged for fixed quantity, total unchanged for internal transfer. So just a quick one for one unchanged. So basically, right, in your question, you should look out for that one thing that is unchanged. Okay, no difference, no touching, no decreasing, no increasing of that item. So that item will be unchanged. Next one for total unchanged, if it's a fixed quantity. Okay, what do we mean by fixed quantity? So a few examples could be total cost of a present. Okay, so for example, we can have total cost of a present, a shared present. Okay, a shared present. We can also have total number of pages in a book, and so on and so forth. Total number of pages in a book. Okay, and for internal transfer, it's like there's two of them. Okay, and A gives to B, B then gives to A again. So the total within the two of them will not change. Yes, total unchanged. Okay, so this one, for example, A gives to B and B gives back to A. The total, which is A plus B, is unchanged. So these are the scenarios that we are looking at. Okay, let's go. Now, let's look at the rules for one item unchanged. Okay, so for one unchanged, like I mentioned just now, right, we write down the sets of ratio, identify the one that is unchanged, and every time those that are unchanged, we will find the common multiple. Okay, we make the units the same by finding the common multiple. And finally, read your question, assign a value to the unit, and solve for one unit, and the question. Let's go. Now, let's look at the first question. So I will go through the first question together with you. Okay, and then you can try your bubble questions. Ready? Okay, so let's read the question first. The number of men was 49 the number of women at a restaurant. Okay, let me highlight this. And after 18 women left the restaurant, the men became 2/3 of the women. Question, how many men were there in the restaurant? Okay, so let's look at the first sentence. If they say that the number of men was 49 the number of women, okay, the 4 in the fraction belongs to the number of 4 belongs to the men. Good job. The numerator belongs to the first quantity. Denominator belongs to the second quantity. Okay? Then, after 18 women left the restaurant, the men became 2/3. Very good. Okay, third statement. The men became 2/3. So, same thing. The numerator belongs to the first quantity. Denominator belongs to the second quantity, which is the woman. Okay, can see now? Okay, very good. So now let me show you. So before and after. Okay, so B stands for the before, A stands for after in the BCA for those of you who are using. The rest of us, we just write it down. We will have two sets of ratio, the before and the after. The ratio for men is to women would be 4:9. Okay, and what about after? After 18 women left. So can you give me the after ratio for men is to women? 2:3. Good job. And now I want you to think about this. Since only the what should be in the first blank? Who left the restaurant, the men or the women? The women, very good. So I'm going to put it in. Only the women left the restaurant. Can you tell me if the women left? The number of men should remain unchanged. So I'm going to highlight the number of men over here. The ratio, the units is 4 and 2. So if I know that the men is unchanged, I must make the number of men the same. So can you tell me what's the common multiple of 4 and 2? That will give us 4. So I'm going to multiply by 2. Okay, and when I multiply by 2, I will get 4 and 6. Okay, and now let's look at the women, okay? Because 18 women left the restaurant. Okay, so at first I have 9 units of women. After some of them left or 18 of them left, I'm left with 6 units. So can you tell me how many units of women left? 9 minus 6. And that's how I get 3 units of women who left. And that's how I know 3 units are those who left. And there's 18 women who left. So 3 units equals to 18. Next step, find 1 unit, which will give us 18 divided by 3, 6. And finally, everybody, how many men were there at the restaurant? How many units am I looking at for the men? 4 units. So 4 times 6, 24. Everybody got 24? Okay, are you all ready to try the next one? Yes? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, quite similar, right? Okay, so I'm going to highlight for you quickly. Last year, okay, this is last year, Olivia's yearly income is 7/9 of Priscilla's yearly income. After Olivia's yearly income increased by 2,400 this year. Okay, so Olivia increased. What happened? Olivia's income becomes 11/12 of Priscilla's income. And the question asks, what is Olivia's income this year? Olivia is 7. Very good. Yes, 7 out of 8. Okay, let's take a look then, since you all are ready. So what is the ratio of Olivia and Priscilla before would be last year, right? What is the ratio? Let me take a look. So Olivia is 7, Priscilla is 8. Okay, very good, because the numerator belongs to the first quantity, denominator belongs to the second. And what is the ratio for after? Same thing, numerator belongs to the first quantity. Oh, it's a bit far. And denominator belongs to the second. That's how we get 11:12. Anybody can guess my next question? How do we fill in the blank? Okay, let me fill in. Let me choose the correct color. Since only, yes, Olivia. Ooh, what happened to Olivia's spelling? Olivia. Since only Olivia's yearly income has increased, the units for Priscilla, long name, Priscilla, okay, will remain unchanged. Very good. And now let's highlight, okay, where is Priscilla? The one unchanged, I will highlight so that you are aware. So can you tell me now, what is the number of units that I have to make the same for Priscilla? You cannot plus, okay? Cannot plus, we can only multiply. Common multiple can only multiply. Okay? 24. Okay, so let me write down. What do we multiply to give us 24? For 8, we multiply by, okay, and that's how we have 21:24. And for the second ratio, to make it 24, we multiply by 2. And that's how we get 22:24. Okay, so that's the first step. Very good. And now, let's look at 2004. Okay, and I think that's your first bubble question. A simple one. Everybody, look at it. How many units is represented by 2004? So I'm going to launch the question now. Are you ready? Easy? Let's go. There's a lot of different ways of doing, but we just do the standard way. And why we choose 24 because we choose the smallest multiple. You can also have other multiples of common multiples of 8 and 12. Okay? Is everybody okay? Yes, there are a few options, but you follow my solution. So if you follow my solution, if you compare Olivia, before is 21, after is 22. So the change will be 22 minus 21, which will give us 1 unit. And that's how, that is the answer for bubble question 1. Follow my solution. Now let's move on, okay? What about the second bubble question? Let me launch. What is Olivia's yearly income? Okay, so we already know that 1 unit is 2004. Can y'all continue from here on your own? And I will launch. Ready? Go. Yay, more of you got it correct. Good. I think some of you still didn't manage to answer, right? Okay, so let me continue. So Olivia's yearly income is this year, which is the new one, and that will be 22 units. Okay, so 22. Remember, I asked you to get your calculators ready. So when you multiply, you get 52,800. And some of you say, that's a lot of money. Yes. Okay, we move on. Okay, so it's actually still quite similar. Okay, so I will highlight keywords quickly. A coffee mixture has a total mass of 100 kg. There are 2 types of coffee powder, A and B. Oops. And the ratio of A and B is in the ratio of 7:3. Okay, and what happened? When the amount of A is reduced, ding, ding, this is the clue. A is reduced. Okay, A is reduced. And what happened? The mass of the coffee powder in A becomes 60% of the new mixture. Question asks for total mass of the new mixture. Okay, percentage, fraction, because normally at P6 level, it will be a combination of fraction, percentage, and ratio. Okay, so let me write down first. Before, it will be 7:3. Okay, they are very friendly. They give it to us. But some of you, 60%, they give us percentage. What will happen? What will this ratio? Everybody be careful. Even though A is 60% of the new mixture, but what do I fill in here? Okay, some of you are giving me 60%. Very good. I'm going to write down 60 out of 100, which will give us 3/5. So if A is 3/5 of the new mixture, A is to B. What's the ratio? Be very careful. It's a trick. A is 3, are correct. But what about B? B is the one that's tricking you. Very good. A is 3, but B is not 5. A lot of you type 5 for me. B is not 5 because 5 belongs to the whole thing, the whole mixture, A and B. So if A already take up 3, B should only be, yes, 2. So this part is very tricky. Don't fall into the trick, okay? Good. Okay? Gentle reminder, okay? Don't fall into the trick. And now, as usual, let's fill in this. Can you tell me which coffee powder is being reduced? A is being reduced. Hence, we know that which one remains the same? Xingyi, B remains unchanged. So I'm going to highlight my B so that I can see that this is the units that I must make them the same. Okay, so now 3 and 2 is very friendly, right? What's the common multiple of 3 and 2? 3 and 2, common multiple is 6, so we times 2. And the next one we times 3. All clear until here? Okay, and you double check. Make sure your B is the one that is the same, which is 6. Okay, and now, okay, let me see what is the first bubble question. How many units is represented by 100 kg? Everybody refer to my solution. How many units is represented by 100 kg? Are you ready before I launch? Okay, let's go. Look at my solution, okay? This is before 14:6. This is after 9:6. So how many units represent the 100 kg, which is the total mass at first? This 100 kg is at first. Is at the first part of the question, so it's at first. This is the ratio 14:6 for before. This is the ratio 9:6 for after. Okay, and 100 kg is for at first. So let me check the results. How is it this time? Oh, a lot of you fall into the trick, is it? You put 3. Okay, a lot of you put 3, which is 10 units, which is incorrect because remember, I told you to look at my solution. 7:3 is the units given at first, but remember we multiply by 2 over here, everybody? Okay, so you cannot look at 7:3 anymore. You must look at 14:6. Charmaine, because I'm alone in the room, so it doesn't matter. Understand, everybody? At first, the ratio is 7:3, so I write it down here, 7:3. When A is reduced over here, okay, the ratio becomes 60% of the new mixture. So I change 60% to a fraction, I get 3/5. So if A becomes 3/5 of the mixture, A is 3. Okay, total 5 units. If A already take up 3, B will take the remaining 2. That's how I get the ratio in red. But I know that coffee powder A is the one that's being reduced, so B must be unchanged. So I highlight the B for you because this must be unchanged, meaning it must be the same multiple or the same number of units. So the common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. So I multiply and this will be my new ratio that I look at. Okay, 14:6, 9:6. Okay, so now I move on. So here, everybody, the 100 kg is before, right? Because that is the first sentence. So before will be over here, okay, which will give us, let me write it down, 14 plus 6, which is 20 units. That's how we know that 20 units is 100 kg. Okay, that's why your answer is number 4. Okay, so 60% you will not be able to find the ratio. So you must express it to a fraction first, 3/5. Then you know that A is 3 units. The whole mixture is 5 units. So B is 2 units. Okay, now are you ready for the next bubble question? Take a look first before I launch. What is the total mass of the new mixture? Okay, are you ready? Launch. 20 units is 100 kg, okay? Can y'all find 1 unit first? How do we find 1 unit? And then you answer the question. The question asks for new mixture. New mixture will be over here. Total mass of new mixture is how many units? 1 unit is 5, right? 100 divided by 20, 1 unit is 5 kg. Then remember, okay? Remember, what is the total mass of the new mixture? New mixture is over here. Okay, the after is the new. So what's the total number of units, everybody? So the total number of units will be 15. So 15 times 5, and most of you got it correct, 75 kg. Good job. Okay, let's go. Are you all ready? Read the question first. Okay, let me highlight. A jug contains 1 liter of syrup mixture, okay? It's the whole thing that is 1 liter, okay? And what happened? 10% of the mixture is syrup and the rest is water. How many milliliters? They want in milliliters, okay? Be very careful. Must be added so that we can increase the percentage of the syrup to 50%. Percentage again. Yes, P6 is all about percentage, fraction, and ratio. Okay, I'm going to show you my ratio first for before and after, and you tell me. Okay, you tell me. Over here, 10% of the mixture is syrup. Okay, so what do I fill in for my ratio here? If 10% is syrup, what do I fill in? So you change, okay, 10% to a fraction, which is 10 out of 100. And yes, a lot of you simplify for me. Thank you. That's 1 out of 10. Okay, so if it's 1 out of 10, the syrup will be 1 unit and the water will be, how many for the water? 9. 10 is for the total mixture. So if 1 goes to syrup, the remaining 9 must go to the water. Then now, can we do the same to 50%? Change 50% to fraction. 50 over 100. Okay? And can you change 50 over 100 or 50 out of 100 to the simplest form? Yes, 1 out of 2. Good. Now you tell me, what would be the ratio? If you know the fraction is 1 out of 2, okay, what will be the ratio? Okay, that will be syrup. Okay, that means now, right, the whole mixture is 2 units. Syrup will take up 1 unit. Okay, and the water will be the remaining 1. Very good, 1:1. Those of you who gave me 1:2, 2 is for the total. Okay, 2 is the total mixture. Be very careful. Okay, now, can you answer for me over here? Since only, okay, then I will launch the bubble question. Since only what is to be added? Everybody, what did we add? We add the syrup. Okay, so which one will remain unchanged? If we add the syrup only, okay, do you want to try on your own? So we make which unit the same? Let me highlight for you and then you try it on your own. We make the water the same. Very good. Okay, so to make it the same, what do you multiply? Let me write it down first. What do you multiply to make it the same? 9. So to make it 9, I times 9. Oh, but do I need to times the first one? I don't need to, right? Because it's already 9, so I'm going to erase. So are you ready to try now? 1 liter of the syrup is at first. Okay, 1 liter is at first. 1 liter is at first. Okay, I got you a few more, okay? Can you tell me 1 liter is at first? How many units will it be for the whole mixture at first? So I repeat one more time, okay? Those of you who cannot follow, I repeat one more time. A jug contains 1 liter of syrup mixture. 10% of it is syrup. So we change 10% to a fraction, we get 1 out of 10. So when we fill into our ratio, 1 out of 10 means total 10. But 1 unit belongs to the syrup, which means 9 units belong to the water. Okay, this is my before ratio. Then after, I want the syrup to be added. So over here, we know that since syrup is added, the water remains unchanged. Okay, and after that, my syrup's percentage becomes 50%, which changed to fraction is 1 out of 2. Again, 2 units is the total. Syrup is 1 unit, so water is 1 unit. That's how we get 1:1. Since water remains unchanged, we find the common multiple of 1 and 9, which gives us 9. Okay? So 1 liter belongs to the total at first. Okay, everybody listen to me, come. 1 liter belongs to the total at first. Can you tell me at first how many units are there for the total? So I'm going to write down for some of you. Okay, so that you can follow together. So 10 units is 1 liter. And because the question wants in ml, shall we change it to ml? How many ml is 1 liter? 1000 ml. And standard, right? After 10 units, the next step we will find 1 unit. So how do I find 1 unit? How do I find 1 unit? Very good. You take 1000 divide by 10 and then you get 100 ml. And now, okay, you have 20 seconds more to think about it. How many milliliters of syrup is added? Look at your syrup. At first is 1 unit. After adding becomes 9 units. How many units did we add? Very good. Most of you got it correct. Okay. So at first, at the end is 9 units. At first is 1 unit. So 8 units is being added. So 8 units will be 8 times 100, which will give us 800 ml. Oops. Okay. All good. Okay, this will be the last question for our one unchanged. Now we are moving on to total unchanged. Are you ready? Okay, so again, write down the ratio. So identify the statement that will tell you that total is unchanged. So when total is unchanged, we will need a column for the total so that we can make the units the same. And always remember is by finding common multiple, not adding or subtracting. Okay, then basic step 4 and 5 will be read the question, assign a value, and you solve for 1 unit. All good? Okay, let's look at one question, everybody. 3 girls, and we have who? Anna, Beatrice, Calista. They share a roll of ribbon. Anna's share is 1/4 of the total for Beatrice and Calista. Beatrice's share is 2/3 of the total for Anna and Calista. If Anna's ribbon is 45 cm shorter than Beatrice, finally the question asks for total length. Okay, I will go through quickly. Calista is a nice thing. Iban, you're nice. Okay, let's look at standard again. We will have to fill in our ratio. Everybody, you should be very good at this now. So if Anna is 1/4 of total for Beatrice and Calista, 1 is for the first quantity, Anna, 4 is for the second quantity, which is the total for Beatrice and Calista. 1:4. What about the second ratio? What about the second ratio? Beatrice's share is 2/3 of total for Anna and Calista. That will give us 2:3. Very good. Now, let's go on. Now, tell me. So this one is quite standard now. A plus B plus C is Anna plus Beatrice plus Calista. And that is the total. Okay, so if you know that this is total unchanged, the next step, you must add a column for total. All clear? Can you tell me now what's the total for the first set here? What's the total for the first set? 5. What about the total for the second set? What about the second set? 5 as well. And if they are already the same, okay, they are making life easy for you. So we don't have to make them the same because in the first place, they are already the same. Now, make it a very good habit because there are 3 of them. We need the ratio for all 3 of them. Okay, so we have Anna is to Beatrice is to Calista, and you put in Anna is 1 unit, Beatrice is 2 unit. Now, how to find Calista? Anybody? To find C, you can take the total, which is 4 for B and C, and you minus away B. Or like Sijia take 5 minus A plus C. Very good. Total is 5. Very good. Or you take 3, which is for A plus C, and you minus away A. So I'm going to write down for you both. Okay, C can be 4 minus away B, or 3 minus away 1. But anyway, at the end of the day, it will be 1:2:2. Okay, and now let's look at the information. If Anna's ribbon is 45 cm shorter than Beatrice, Anna is 45 cm shorter than Beatrice. Let's compare Anna and Beatrice. How many units is that? How many units is the difference for Anna and Beatrice? It will be 2 minus 1, which is 1 unit. And that's how we know that 1 unit will be 45 cm. And what does the question want? What is the total length? Total length. How many units is the total? 5 units. And to find 5 units, we take 5 times 54. Sorry, 5 times 45. And that's how we get 225. Any questions before I go on to the next one? Why is it 1:2:2? Okay, A is over here. Can you see A is 1, Christine? Christine, A is 1. B is 2. Can you see? So if A is 1 and B is 2, total is 5, right? So C can also be 5 minus 3, give you 2. Okay, let's go. You're welcome. Okay, are you all ready for 3 girls? Ellie, Betty, and Clarissa. Okay, as usual, the first set will be ratio. Are you all ready to give me the ratio? So let's highlight a quick one. So the 3 girls will share a present for their teacher, and Ellie share is 40% of the total for Betty and Clarissa. Okay, and the ratio of Betty to the total of Ellie and Clarissa is 1:2. Information is Betty paid $25 more than Ellie. Question is asking for the cost of the present. So first one, how do I find the first set? Okay, very good. 2:5. Good job. Okay, so we can, 2:2, sorry. Oh, you all have to be careful again. Okay, 40% of the total. What do we have? Is it 2:5 or 2:3, everybody? Come. Let's look at this part again carefully. Ellie is 40% of the total of Betty and Clarissa. Okay, so 40% when we change. Okay, no space. I'm going to squeeze it over here. 40 out of 100. Simplest form is 2 out of 5. Okay, so Ellie is 2 for sure. But Betty and Clarissa, is it 5 or is it 3? Mixed answers. Okay, very good that this question come out. Okay, everybody listen to me. If it is 2/5 of the total for Betty and Clarissa, then Betty and Clarissa will be 5. But if it's 2/5 of the total of the 3 of them, then Betty and Clarissa is 3. Understand? Depending on this total. If it's only total for Betty and Clarissa, that will be 5. But if it's total for all 3, then Betty and Clarissa is 3. Okay? Don't be confused by it. So you'll see sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. So must read your question carefully, okay? Okay. Then the next one is easier because they already give it to you. 1:2. Okay? So let's see now. Again, this one quite standard. The total is the cost of the present, and we know that the total is the same, right? Hence, now I have a column for my total. Can you tell me what's the total for the first set here? What's the total for the first set? Very good. Thank you. 7 units. And very good. 3 for the next one. And we want to make it the same, right? For the total. Can you tell me what's the common multiple? For 3 and 7. 7. Very good. Okay. I'm going to times. So 7 will times 3. So it's 6 and 15. The other side 3 will times 7, which will give us 7 and 14 and 21. Okay, now I'm going to show you my bubble question. What is the ratio of Ellie to Betty to Clarissa? Are you all ready? Okay, so here you already know Ellie. Here you already know Betty. So you only need to know and find Clarissa. Okay, so I'm going to write down for you, okay? A is to B is to C. So I already know A is 6. I already know B is 7. Okay, you can even use the total to find, everybody. The total is 21. So you can minus 6 and 7 to find Clarissa. Time's up. So if we take the total, we can have 21 minus 6 minus 7. And that's how we get 6:7:8. Okay, and now let's look at the last bubble question. For this question, what is the cost of the present? So look at your information, okay? Betty paid $25 more than Ellie. We are comparing Betty and Ellie. So can you compare? Betty paid $25, more than Ellie. So you compare Betty and Ellie, and that is how many units? Okay, to help you along, Betty is 7, Ellie is 6, that is 1 unit. And that's how we know that 1 unit is $25 and they want the total cost of the present. Okay, so can I continue? Let me check. How many units is the total cost of the present? 21. Thank you, everybody. So we will have 21 multiplied by 25. And yes, it's an expensive present, 525. Yeah, we should feedback, right? It's too expensive. Okay, so let me just quickly summarize this for you. So standard, what we learned today is one item unchanged and total unchanged. The only thing that you need to remember is write down the sets of ratio. Always make the unchanged the same number of units. Okay, and that is by finding the common multiple. Okay, then I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.